Good morning. It's being built as a stunning new public space and 22-acre park along the Detroit Riverfront. Get ready for the grand opening of the new Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Centennial Park. What should everyone expect, and why is this such an important milestone for Southeast Michigan? Three key community leaders will tell us. Matt Cullen, the founding chairman of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, Ryan Sullivan, CEO of the Conservancy, and David Egner, President and CEO of the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. It's Sunday, October the 12th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight with a slightly new look. And welcome to Spotlight. Got a big gang this week. We appreciate all three of you coming in. Matt, I'm going to start with you. You're the founding chairman of the Riverfront Conservancy. You've seen a lot of firsts in 20 some odd years on that river. But the opening of the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Park, that has got to be especially sweet.
You're right, Chuck. It's been a great run. We've been voted one of the best riverfronts in the United States several times now. But the opening of this park is going to just take it to a different level. I mean, the generosity of the Ralph Wilson Foundation and the vision that they and our architect and our community members that have all been part of that design, they've created something really special that's going to resonate for everybody in the city of Detroit, everybody around the region, everybody around the world. They're going to have opportunities to interact with this park in a way that is just going to be tremendous, and it's not duplicated anywhere else, I don't think, in the country. So we're tremendously excited about it.
Good. Well, we're going to drill down on that a little bit, and we're going to pick back up with you in a little bit and talk about how this fits into that overall vision of
Absolutely.
the 5.5 miles there. So we'll get back to that in a second. I want to get Dave in here. Dave Egner, $80 million. That's a nice piece of change that you've invested into this park. How does this fit into Ralph Wilson's vision for that foundation and the man himself?
Don't give us too much credit, Chuck. We're only 56 million of capital in the park.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 80, all right.
Some other capital other places, but a lot of players in this park, not just us, a lot of others that have come in. I think Mr. Wilson would be very proud of the collaborative nature of this whole thing. The other funders in the play, the leadership of the Riverfront Conservancy. Mr. Wilson was the founder of the Buffalo Bills and owned them until his death in 2014. Most Detroiters don't know Ralph Wilson.
Yes, true.
In Buffalo, he couldn't walk down the street. But in Detroit, he was more of an incognito, wanted to be able to go to the grocery store and the movies and not have folks in his business at that time. He was successful in 11 industries. He was a serial investor. He was a serial entrepreneur. Buffalo Bills being the bulk of his estate upon his passing in 2014. And 4 life trustees appointed to take care of the estate and the resources of the foundation. We've added a couple trustees, but I think Mr. Wilson would be extremely proud of what this park's going to mean.
And part of his goal was with that foundation is spend the money.
He gave us a mandate of spending it in 20 years. So $1.2 billion that was gifted initially, and he said you've got to be done from 20 years from start to finish. So we're at halftime.
All right, very good. That's a good way, and he would appreciate that as well. Ryan Sullivan, the community input has been invaluable, I understand, with this. Talk a little bit about that and the design of this park and the role that Detroit area people put into this.
Yeah, no question. From the very inception of this vision that Matt talked about a moment ago, a community activation team was formed, and these were 21 Detroiters who had to apply to be part of this team. They were selected through a competitive application process, and they were sent to one of 3 different cities around the United States: New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, so people could go and experience world-class parks in other cities and come up with great ideas and dream big about what we could have here in our own city in Detroit. They were able to take a friend or a family member with them so that they had someone to experience that
made them pretty popular.
Exactly, right? And I think you see all of that work that was done manifested in the design of the park itself. And those folks have been involved in the design of this park now for over 7 years. They have come to countless community meetings, and they have recruited their friends and family to be part of that process as well. They were also involved in the selection of the architect, Michael Van Valkenburg and Associates, through an international design competition. In addition to that, we had open public meetings where thousands of people came and commented on some of the design models in places like the Rensen and office buildings along Woodward. So this process was incredibly collaborative with the voice of the community, having that input driven for multiple years, and we're really proud for everyone to come see the park when it opens.
All right, sounds good. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, Matt, I want to go back to you, and I want you to elaborate on this overall vision and the journey that you've had getting us to this point. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Spotlight, talking to three movers and shakers here in Detroit, and about a very, very important milestone for this city. Matt Cullen, I'm old enough to remember when they broke all that ground down there on the riverfront, and we got rid of all the concretes and silos and all sorts of other things. But how does this fit into that overall vision of that 5.5 miles?
Well, you're right, Chuck. You've been with us from the beginning. I mean, this started really with General Motors buying the Renaissance Center and saying, hey, let's open it up. Let's take down the berms. Let's open it to the back. And then a group of people came together and said, the vision of redoing the riverfront and creating that kind of environment was not a new vision, but the will of people coming together and saying, look, we can do this. I mean, you look to Windsor, you look around to Chicago, you look other places, you say, why can't we have this? Why can't Detroiters have the same thing that others have? And we have the most spectacular riverfront in the country, probably.
We do. And it was undervalued for such a long period of time.
It was abandoned. Yeah. It was beat up buildings, half-closed cement plants, abandoned cars. And we came together and said, hey, maybe we can impact on this. And it started off fairly small, but as soon as we got started, we said, we really cast an eye both directions and said, you know what? If we did this and did it right, we could do bridge to bridge. We could do 5.5 miles of perpetual public access, beautiful parks, everything else. People scoffed a little bit, right? Because
they scoffed a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
At that time.
So people had big ideas, right?
That's right.
But that time we said, look, we think we can do it. And a group of, really the whole community came together and embarked on it. And now we're done with the east. We're turning our attention to the west, opening this up. We're going to open up behind the riverfront towers now. You're going to be connected all the way from downtown Detroit, from Belle Isle, all the way to the park. We're working on the last little piece over time, and we're going to get to bridge. And it's been a great ride, and I think it's just going to get better literally every year now because of the investment. This park is going to change everything, though, because it's going to become the centerpiece of it. We've had this linear park, which has been spectacular, connectivity into the neighborhoods and so on, but this is a gathering place that's going to be big enough and have enough dimensions to it that it's going to bring everybody together.
Yeah. Ryan, this is being built as a world-class park, and certainly Detroit has gotten kudos, especially the last several years, in terms of major events here and people looking at us as a destination city, which is the same thing that Travel and Leisure and other people have said about Detroit now. October 25th, grand opening. Expand a little bit on that. What will people see? What will they experience when they come there?
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a giant party. Jefferson's going to be shut down, so there's going to be lined with food trucks from Rosa Parks all the way down to Cabassier Street. And then the park itself is going to be the main event, right? So we're going to keep a lot of the food and entertainment along Jefferson, and then allow people to come into the park and experience it in all 4 of the different zones that were designed, and really enjoy the park for what it was designed to be. And then, of course, we're going to have a main stage inside the park at the foot of the DTE Foundation Summit, which was designed to be a gathering place for concerts and other events. And we're going to have a lot of performances throughout the course of those 2 days, with the headline act of the Jacksons, a little Motown flair, on Saturday evening. So there's really going to be something for everyone to enjoy. As we've talked about throughout this conversation, the community has been part of the design. The community is going to be very present in part of this wonderful party and celebration to open the park. We have a lot of food vendors and entertainers from all throughout the city, especially Southwest Detroit, given its proximity to that neighborhood, and we're really excited to welcome everybody for that event.
Dave Egner, I'm hearing more and more that Detroit has become a national model for public-private partnerships. Talk a little bit about that and why, from your vantage point, that's so important, and why have we had that success?
Chuck, it's a great 30-year overnight success story. A lot of things to work on in place 30 years ago that philanthropy invested in some gaps and started to give hope to some neighborhoods and some projects that might erupt into something to make Detroit better, and the public sector got involved, and then the corporate sector got involved. Riverfront's a great example of that. If General Motors hadn't made that first commitment, if the city had said no to developing the river, if philanthropy hadn't shown up, we wouldn't be talking about 5.5 miles of riverfront today. And so it's been critical that it be a partnership and a collaboration. And then I think when Dan Gilbert moved downtown, it kind of set on fire the downtown marketplace. Midtown started to explode. We've seen neighborhood progress through the Strategic Neighborhood Fund that Invest Detroit has been championing with the city. There's a lot more going on than just the river, but the river is going to be the gem that brings the national view into the city itself.
All right, we need to take another quick no pause for the cause. We'll come right back with some more questions right after this. Ryan, I'm going to go to you because I've seen several things in the press release. There's the play garden. You've already mentioned the summit. There's the water garden. There's the William Davidson Sport House. Talk a little bit about that and this first, I guess, Metro Park in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting with the William Davidson Sport House, this is going to be the absolute best basketball court to play in the city, maybe with the exception of Little Caesars Arena itself.
Okay.
But it's an incredible design, two full-size basketball courts with the Pistons logos, great partnership with them to come out and support the park. And it's really incredible, awesome play surface. This is not a concrete basketball floor. It's got a highly engineered play surface for people to play on and enjoy. And we envision a lot of activities beyond basketball utilizing that space as well. Think of volleyball, pickleball, in the wintertime, putting some of those igloos out there where people can be warm, fashion shows, all kinds of other activations that can be done in the William Davidson Sport House. And then to touch on the Huron-Clinton Metro Parks Water Garden that you mentioned, this is something that the voice of the community was heard loud and clear. People wanted more access and to be closer to the water. And if you think about the city, we're surrounded by water, but the only place you can kind of touch and feel it is out on Belle Isle. So bringing the water garden here into the mainland, it's a 2-acre area where real Detroit River water is brought into a man-made pond of sorts, a lagoon, that is already teeming with wildlife. We've seen crawfish, mink, turtles.
Wow.
Incredible birds. It's just so amazing to see how quickly nature finds a way. Nature finds its home in this new space. So those are a couple highlights to share.
Sure, that's good. This could go to either Matt or Dave, or you both may want to chime in. You all travel throughout the country, throughout the world. You've seen other cities that have great public spaces that have become iconic. Why is that so important in terms of being an economic generator for this city, to be able to have something that pretty soon when people say Detroit and Detroit Riverfront, they're going to immediately talk about this park?
Maybe I'll take a first crack, but a lot of it's about connectivity. I mean, parks are terrific, but what we have here now is this ecosystem of green spaces that's really unparalleled, because with the Southwest Greenway, it's going to open up all of Southwest Detroit for access to the riverfront for one of the first times. The DeQuinder Cut, all the way down to Uniroyal and Belle Isle. You could take the DeQuinder Cut all the way up to Wayne State. And what we have found consistently around the country, around the world, is people want to be next to and have access to green space. And so we've seen billions of dollars of economic development along the waterfront. And as this greenway continues, it's going to turn into the Joe Louis Greenway, which is 27 miles for the whole city. And we're starting to see economic development along that entire corridor because people want to have that opportunity to get outside and to enjoy it and to connect to all these other areas. So I'm sure Dave's got other perspectives, but I think it's the connectivity and it's already shown itself with the economic.
Oh yeah, I mean you've got the Ralph Wilson Trail around Belle Isle now. That's 5.8 miles of paved trail around Belle Isle, connecting to the Riverfront, which connects to the Southwest Greenway, which connects to the Joe Louis Greenway, which connects to the Iron Belt Trail. You can go 2,000 miles if you want now, Chuck, one side or the other. That connectivity is critical. I also think, who wants to live in a city without recreation and beautiful spaces and a place to come? So it's more than just the buildings around it and the businesses that might develop. It's also about lifting up neighborhoods with the Joe Louis Greenway, making sure they have access to this park. This is the resident of the city's park, but it will be open to those coming in. And you want to keep talent here, executives, workers, you've got to have spaces like this.
Yeah, and Brian, does it make it easier for the selling of Detroit in terms of getting big conventions, other big events in here? Is this something that when you go to Claude Molinari, he says, yeah, I need you to do great there. I'm doing my thing over here. But it all, as Matt says, about connectivity.
Claude is a great friend and a board member of the Conservancy, so love working with Visit Detroit and the Convention Center. But you think about Huntington Place, it's right there on the riverfront, and you think about the views from inside of there and the access that you have to the riverfront there. Not to mention the new apartment building right in that corridor, as well as a new hotel that is nearly completed with all the other future development in store in that area. So yeah, people that are coming from far and wide, whether it's coming for a convention or, as Dave said, living in the adjacent neighborhood, it is a space that's open and inviting to all, and it connects everyone together. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the riverfront this summer, meet someone from out of town or from out of the country, and they're here oohing and eyeing at the water just as we are, and we're so fortunate to live here. And that's the magic of the riverfront, is its ability to bring people together from all over the world.
All right, we have to take one quick final break. We'll come right back with a couple more questions and we'll wrap everything up. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Matt Cullen, you've seen it all. Even back to the days when I remember you and Faye Nelson standing there breaking ground. In 20 years' time, you're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some bumps in the road. There was one fairly big one that you all had to deal with. Do you feel with this latest development in the overall spectrum as though the trust is still there from the community, from the leaders, from everyone else, that nothing's absolutely perfect, but we also are a city that we aren't going to let one thing, regardless of what it is, mess up the trust?
I think so, for sure. I mean, and I think the fact that the Wilson Park's going to open, it's going to be wonderful. It's opening on time. Everything else is taking place along the waterfront. We didn't miss a beat relative to operations. So I look back, Chuck, after this period of time with two I guess, emotions. One is a sense of, fulfillment in that we were able to achieve the vision. We had GM's bankruptcy, the city's bankruptcy, we had the Kilpatrick era, we had all of these types of things, and obviously the embezzlement, but we persevered through all of that. And so I feel great about that endurance, not about all the ups and downs, but about the endurance. And then I feel a sense of gratitude. I mean, when I look back at all of the people that had to be involved to get this done, and Dave mentioned a number of them, but city, county, state, federal, the foundations, Kresge, Wilson, Davidson, Hudson Weber, you just go down the list. And then every corporation in the city, everyone had to come together to take this project on. And if it weren't for that shared vision, the shared commitment, we wouldn't have been successful. Any one of those things would have stopped us. And so as you look back now and say, look, this is sort of the capstone on on that vision, it's pretty rewarding, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, you're going to be retiring as board chair of the Conservancy, I guess, the end of the year.
That's right. Sandy Pierce is going to take the mantle on. It'll be great.
All right, very good. The fact that the three of you are sitting here also, I think, sends an important message about the relationships and the partnerships and about moving forward. Ryan, sort of the new kid on the block, not a kid by any stretch of the imagination. Do you feel pressure with sort of this handoff? And what's your vision as the new CEO coming in here?
Sure. I wouldn't say I feel pressure, but definitely a big responsibility. The Riverfront means so much to so many families throughout our region, including my own. Before I've taken on this role professionally, I've been a longtime Riverfront user. I live on the east side. I'm an avid runner and cyclist, so I've used it for many years. Both my great-grandfathers on my dad's side actually worked at the site of Wilson Park. One as a crane operator, the other cleaned out rail cars for Michigan Central back in the day. But my family is not unique, right? I am one of many people in our region that has this connection to the waterfront. So in that sense, I feel very honored to be playing this role at this time professionally. And I've really enjoyed it throughout the course of this year, getting to meet so many other friends and families and new friends that I haven't met yet on the Riverfront each and every single day. So our idea going forward is to continue to execute on that vision. Clean, safe, beautiful, and accessible public space for all along Detroit's waterfront. We're roughly 2/3 of a mile shy of that original 5.5-mile vision. Plus, when you add in all the greenways, DeQuinder Cut, Southwest Greenway, and Archer Greenway, that's another 3+ miles that we have, not to mention the park. So there's something for everyone to love and enjoy on the Riverfront, and I'm happy to be here.
Dave Egner, you get the final quick question. You spend a lot of time in Buffalo because of the foundation. You also spend a lot of time here, your home. They're building a similar park there. They're about a year behind us. We're going to be better than their park, right?
Oh, you can't ask me to pick my favorite child. That doesn't work. But we're so proud that Mr. Wilson's name is going to be on both those parks.
Right.
One on the west side and one on the east side of Lake Erie. And they're beautiful. So the sun will rise and the sun will set on Ralph C. Wilson Jr. parks.
Great, and two great cities, two great football teams. And if we're lucky, maybe they'll be in a Super Bowl together, we'll see.
That would be special.
All right, Dave, Ryan, Matt, thank you so much for coming in, sharing all of this information. Don't forget, October 25th, the great big grand opening. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.